Welcome to U.S. Truck Driver Training School's Preventative Maintenance. This unit will introduce the driver trainee to the basic servicing and checking procedures for various engine and vehicle components and to try to help develop their ability to perform preventative maintenance and simple emergency repairs. This unit will teach the driver trainee to identify major combination vehicle systems. The goal is to explain their function and how to check all key systems: engine, exhaust, auxiliary systems, brakes, drivetrain, coupling systems, and suspension to ensure their safe operation. Driver trainees will learn a detailed description of each system. It's important to safe and efficient operation and what is needed to keep the system in good operating condition. In order for a safe, efficient, and economical fleet to exist, vehicles need to be inspected and maintained on a regular basis. As a professional driver, your involvement is key when it comes to successful preventative maintenance program, as you are often the first to notice a problem or issue. Upon completion of this lesson, you will be able to list the different types of vehicle maintenance, identify your role in keeping a vehicle's components in good working order, recognize the cost of poor vehicle maintenance. Proper vehicle maintenance can go a long way in making sure your vehicle operates efficiently and effectively. A vehicle that is not properly maintained will ultimately result in citations and out-of-service orders during roadside inspections, vehicle breakdowns, and increased risk of accidents. There will be times when you need to add oil or coolant or drain moisture from fuel and air systems. Though these tasks are considered routine, if they are overlooked, it could lead to problems down the road. Section 396.3 of the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Regulations, the FMCSRs, requires a motor carrier to systematically inspect, repair, and maintain its vehicles. In other words, a motor carrier must have a preventative maintenance program. PM schedules can be arranged in various ways, including according to mileage, engine hours, or time. Fully participating in your motor carrier's PM effort can reduce unexpected periods of downtime, saving both time and money. Worn, failed, or incorrectly adjusted components can cause or contribute to accidents. Preventative maintenance and periodic inspection procedures help to prevent failures from occurring while you are on the road. Unscheduled maintenance is an unexpected expense. Examples would include repairs that are not noted on your driver vehicle inspection report and repairs due to accidents and breakdowns. You are ultimately responsible for the safe operation condition of your vehicle as a professional driver. You can do the following to help keep your vehicle's components in good working order. Detect maintenance and repair needs as you travel. Refer them to the correct place for handling. Perform thorough pre-trip and post-trip inspections, making sure you check all pertinent components each time you do an inspection. Verify an annual vehicle inspection has been conducted on the vehicle. The driver's responsibility when it comes to actual maintenance will depend on your company's policies. Most companies expect a driver to fix simple problems, but do not expect a driver to be a master mechanic. Knowing how to perform a simple maintenance task can go a long way in keeping the vehicle out of the garage and on the road. Do not start or continue a trip until you are satisfied that everything is in good operating condition and is safe to do so. Federal and state regulations require that you do not drive a vehicle unless you are satisfied that it is in safe operating condition. Your responsibilities when it comes to actual maintenance will depend on your company's policies. Most companies expect you to fix simple problems such as changing out a light or replacing a windshield wiper blade, but do not expect or want you to make other repairs. Never attempt to fix a problem if you do not have the appropriate training, knowledge, or tools. Unscheduled maintenance is an unexpected expense. Examples would include repairs that are noted on your driver vehicle inspection report and repairs due to accidents and breakdowns. Knowing how to perform simple maintenance tasks can go a long way in keeping a vehicle out of the garage and on the road. Fuel level. The following are the steps that should be taken when doing a routine check of the fuel level of the fuel tanks. Park on level ground. Slowly open the fuel tank cap. Visually check the fuel level. Make sure that the level matches or corresponds with the gauge reading in the cab. Oil level. The following are steps that should be taken when doing a routine check of the engine's oil level. Park the vehicle on level ground, shut off the engine, and allow a few minutes for the oil to drain. Locate your vehicle's dipstick. Pull the dipstick out, wipe it clean, and replace. Pull out again and check the oil level. The level should be between the fill and add marks. Coolant level. The following steps should be followed when checking the coolant level. Keeping in mind that this system check is very dangerous. Extreme caution should be exercised at all times. Shut the engine off and wait for the engine to cool. Visually check the level of the coolant and, if necessary, add coolant. Check your vehicle's owner's manual for specific instruction. Power steering fluid level. These following steps should be followed when checking the power steering fluid level. With the engine running at normal operating temperature, turn the steering wheel back and forth several times to stabilize the fluid level. Stop the engine, remove the dipstick. The fluid should register between the bottom of the dipstick and the full mark. If necessary, add fluid to the full mark, but do not overfill. Consult your vehicle's owner's manual for the correct type of fluid. Tire pressure. It's best to check tire pressure when the tire is cold. The following steps should be followed when checking the air pressure. Park the vehicle on level ground, turn off the engine, secure the vehicle. Remove the valve stem cap, place the air gauge over the valve stem opening, read the inflation pressure on the gauge. Inflate if necessary. Check your owner's manual for correct inflation pressure, then replace the valve stem cap. Changing a headlamp. Following steps should be followed when changing a headlamp. Park the vehicle, turn off the engine, secure the vehicle. Remove the trim ring from the burned out light if applicable. Unfasten the mounting screws. Disconnect the light from the socket and remove. Remove any debris, dirt, bugs, etc. from the socket area. Plug in the new headlamp. Test the lamp to make sure it is working properly. Fasten the mounting screws and replace the trim ring. Make sure the light is clean. Regulatory requirements. Part 396 of the FMCSRs addresses vehicle inspection and maintenance. The regulations address systematic maintenance, pre-trip inspections, on-the-road inspections, post-trip inspections, and annual or periodic inspections. Section 396.3 of the FMCSR state that every motor carrier must systematically inspect, repair, and maintain all vehicles in its control or make provisions for systematic inspection, repair, and maintenance. The term systematic means a regular or scheduled program to keep vehicles in safe operating condition. In other words, a motor carrier must have a preventative maintenance program. It is up to the motor carrier to determine the time frame for conducting systematic vehicle inspections. They may be based on mileage, engine hours, or time. Section 396.13 of the FMCSR states that before driving a motor vehicle, you must be satisfied that the vehicle is in safe operating condition. Review the last vehicle inspection report, see post-trip inspection. Sign the last vehicle inspection report only if defects or deficiency were noted by the driver who prepared the report, to acknowledge that the report has been reviewed and that there is certification that the repairs have been performed.
Pre-trip inspection covers the entire vehicle with a 5-step process that takes you around your tractor trailer in a logical order. You'll start in the front for Step 1, where you'll inspect the engine compartment and front axle components. Step 2 is the in-cab inspection, and in Step 3, you'll check the lights. Step 4 is the walk-around, which will always be the most time-consuming part of your pre-trip inspection. Then, you'll finish your pre-trip by checking the brake system, which is Step 5. Whether you follow this sequence or develop your own, the important thing is you make sure all components are inspected. If you do your inspection the same way every time, you'll be more efficient and effective. Plus, there's less of a chance something will get missed or forgotten.
Section 392.9 of the FMCSRs require drivers that you follow certain inspection rules while on the road. The vehicle's cargo and load securing devices must be checked within the first 50 miles of the trip. Any necessary adjustments must be made at that time. After the first 50 miles of the trip, the vehicle's cargo and load securing devices must be re-examined. Whenever you make a change in duty status, after the vehicle has been driven for 3 hours, or after the vehicle has been driven for 150 miles, whichever occurs first. These on-the-road inspection rules do not apply if you are driving a sealed vehicle and have been ordered not to open the vehicle to inspect its cargo. Also, the rules do not apply if the vehicle has been loaded in a way that makes the inspection of the cargo difficult or impossible.
Good drivers know to complete a short walk-around inspection every time they stop. The first step in completing your on-the-road inspection is, ironically, to get off the road. Find a place to park where you'll have enough room to move around your vehicle safely. You'll complete this inspection at a walking pace, pausing only for a few seconds at each of your axles. The entire inspection should really only take you a minute or two, which is nothing compared to the amount of time and money it could take to deal with the problems if they're not addressed early enough. Focus your on-the-road inspection on your lights, mirrors, and tires. Tires are a major expense for trucking companies, and like we mentioned before, underinflation is the #1 cause of tire problems. When tire pressure is down 10 to 20%, tires will start to show strange wear patterns. And at 20% or more pressure loss, the risk of a sidewall blowout increases tremendously. If that tire blows while you're en route, you've got problems. At best, you'll lose a little road time, and you and your company will lose money. But it could create havoc for those around you when it happens. For this reason, your on-the-road tire inspections should not be taken lightly. It won't do you any good to use an actual pressure gauge to test your tires when they're hot, since a reading can be off anywhere from 5 to 20%. Instead, use a hammer or tire thumper to check for firmness. Also, put your hand close to the hub and feel for excessive heat caused by a failing tire or bearing. But be careful not to touch anything. You don't want to burn your hand in the process.
Post-trip inspection. A post-trip inspection is conducted at the end of your day's work on the vehicle you are operating. Section 396.11 requires you to complete a DVIR if defects or deficiencies are discovered. This report helps the motor carrier make necessary repairs before the vehicle returns to the road.
During your post-trip inspection, you'll inspect the same items you did in your pre-trip. The only exception is you won't be able to check things that are affected by heat, like oil, tire pressure, brake shoes and drums, hub oil, and exhaust components. If you discover any defect or deficiency with your brakes, steering, lighting, tires, or other items that you believe might compromise the vehicle's safe operation, document it on a DVIR and report it to your company. This also includes any minor defects you were told about during a roadside inspection that you are not able to get repaired during the day. Then, before the vehicle can be operated again, your company has to certify that any defective items have been repaired, or that those items were inspected by a mechanic or company official and do not need to be corrected to safely operate the vehicle.
Section 396.17 requires a thorough and complete inspection of a commercial motor vehicle at least once per year by a qualified person. The inspection requirements may be met through a self-inspection program, an inspection performed by a commercial garage or similar business, a periodic inspection program administered by the state. Documentation of the periodic inspection must be carried in the vehicle. Documentation includes a written inspection report and/or inspection decal. Though not required when no defects or deficiencies are found, many motor carriers are requiring drivers to complete a DVIR at the end of every day per company policy. Several states have mandatory inspection programs that are considered equivalent to the federal annual inspection requirement. Pitfalls of poor vehicle maintenance. It is important to report vehicle defects and deficiencies to your motor carrier as soon as they are discovered. Not reporting a problem when it first occurs can have serious consequences for both you and your motor carrier, including a vehicle breakdown or an accident. Breakdowns costs include more than just the parts and labor to get the vehicle up and running once again. Every minute a truck is in the shop or placed out of service is not being used to bring in revenue to the carrier. An incapacitated vehicle may incur additional expenses such as cost of towing, driver wages, meals, lodging, and unable to drive, cost of renting another vehicle, late delivery charges, lost customers, cargo transfer fees. All these costs have a bearing on your motor carrier's bottom line and its profitability. This in turn can play a role in your future compensation and benefits with the company. If a defective part causes an accident, the costs incurred can include insurance deductibles, higher insurance rates, potential litigation, and a tarnished safety record for the carrier. For you, it could mean potential citations and fines as well as personal injury. As a professional driver, you are responsible for safely operating your vehicle. This responsibility includes reporting any problems with your vehicle to your company and making sure these issues are looked into. You should now be able to list the different types of vehicle maintenance, identify your role in keeping a vehicle's components in good working order, recognize the cost of poor vehicle maintenance.